All right, what's up, guys? Back with another video. Um, Excuse me, and girls. This is going to be a pretty quick video. Going to respond to a question here I got on the email. Um, I haven't been up here in a while because I've been out of commission, doing some. Well, not I shouldn't say out of commission, but out of town doing some, taking care of some business, trying to get a business established and started. And it's been taking quite a bit of time. So I have been able to jump up here and make some videos. I have been seeing a few comments and questions coming in, and I've been trying to read over those and write them down so that I can remember those for when I have time to jump back up here. So over the next couple of days, I'm going to try to go through some these comments. I'm going to try to go through the videos and try to make some videos accordingly. If you have sent me a question, if you sent a response, if you wanted me to look something up for you and I did not get back to you, I am so sorry. I really am. I really apologize. I'm juggling a business, trying to start a business. I have 7 children that I take care of on my own and all that type of stuff like that. It's a lot going on. So I do apologize. If you sent me something and I didn't get back to you, just send it back to me either in a comment or either on email. It's carhollandjoe at gmail.com. Um, and I'll get back to your question as soon as I possibly can. I'm going to try to set aside a few days over the next week or two and try to hit these videos back to back, back to back. So I'm going to be trying to push them out. All right, so this video in particular, put it down there, buddy. This video in particular is for Mud. It says, sir, I'm from California area. I want to do local runs. How can I find a dispatcher to help me out? Obviously, this is going to be a quick video. I'll try to make it quick. I could run my mouth, and I'm trying to cut these things down. So Mud, the easiest way I would suggest is to get on Google and to start looking up some different car dispatch services. One thing that's going to happen when you apply for your business, not your business, but when you apply for your MC number and DOT and MC number, one thing you're going to get is a flood of people offering services to you. That is going to include a lot of dispatch services. It's going to include people trying to give you loans. It's going to include brokers, just a bunch of people. Now, most times when you get a dispatch service that's trying to contact you or something of that nature, often their services, most of them are going to be for freight. There's not a lot of people that like to deal with cars because there's a lot of moving parts where, in freight, you can get one truckload or one trailer load and take it off. Take off and go where you're going to go and drop it off. With cars, you're always going to be doing partial loads unless, you got 2 or 3 cars, or if you are 9 car haul or whatever, unless you got all of those cars going to the same location from obviously the same pickup that will give you a truckload. But primarily with cars, you're doing a lot of partialing. And of course, with freight, that's what those guys are having to do now is a lot of partialing. They've been doing it. And if you are, doing freight and you're good at it, you're going to have to get into partial game. That's how you're going to make your money. Um, so not a lot of people, because when I was out there real hard, I looked for it, dispatchers. But everybody that you're dealing with, they'll tell you, hey, I do freight. I don't mess with cars. A lot of people, I know people are afraid of cars or what. So they got some dispatch services up here. I think I looked at this one a while ago. I just want to put a few things to you. One thing to look for when you're looking for a dispatch service, you definitely want a dispatch service where you're going to get a dispatcher. Now, that may not mean that she or he is only dispatching for you. They may have, 1 or 2 other people, or 3 or 4 or 5 other people, but you definitely don't want a dispatch service where they got 10 different car haulers, or they got 11, 15, 20 different people that they have to service. Because if you do, one thing you think about is they're getting paid from all of these guys. Doesn't matter who it's coming from. So they're still going to get paid. So even if they can't get you something, then they're going to make sure they get the other person moving. They got money coming in regardless. So I don't want to say they don't care, but they got too much to focus on. So you want somebody that has a small load, but that's effective in what they're doing, so to speak. So this company in particular, and I point this out, most companies are charging somewhere around about 7 to 10%. And that's going to be from what you're actually making per week. And a lot of guys get scared of dispatch services because of these numbers right here. Um, I wouldn't say to be afraid of it, because when you're out there on the road and you're driving and you're trying to play on a phone or a tablet while you're driving, which you shouldn't be doing because you should be paying attention to the road. But at the same time, you got to get moving because you're about to drop this car and I need something else to keep me moving. So you get in this hustle and bustle of your driving, and you're constantly trying to find um, vehicles, just constantly trying to find your next load. You're constantly trying to move and so on and so on. Getting a dispatcher, it takes away that headache. Also you get ready to drop a car and you're unloading the car, and during the time that you're unloading the car, something hot hits the load board. You're not going to see it because you're unloading that car, or you're loading the car up, or you're doing something else. Right? Getting a dispatcher, the dispatcher should be monitoring what is coming across those load boards, what is coming across whatever you got going on. They should be monitoring that. So they might catch it, whereas you might not. Dispatcher, 9 times out of 10, most times they're going to increase your bottom line, which kind of offsets the fee that they're charging. You may probably find that you're making more with a dispatcher than you are with yourself, because you're driving yourself ragged, trying to find loads, trying to drop cars, pick up cars, trying to go to sleep, but you're trying to find a load before you go to sleep, all those different things. So dispatcher, it takes away that headache somewhat. Now, you don't have to have a professional dispatch service, because officially, there's nobody that really regulates a dispatcher. It's just an agreement set up between you and whoever's offering that service, right? Um, and most are going to charge, again, somewhere between 7 to 10%. That's cool, good, right? One thing I would look at, I looked at this one right here, and this is why I go to it, because it caught my attention. Said with full service dispatch package, you have a dedicated dispatcher from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. For this service in particular, I wouldn't rock with it. Excuse me. Stand by. I'll be right back with you in a second. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. I had a text come in about some business. But I think what I was saying is I pulled this one up in particular because I saw this right here. This 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I wouldn't rock with this. And the reason why I wouldn't rock with it is because, you know, there's a lot of stuff that happens before 9 a.m. and there's a lot of stuff that happens after 5 p.m. And if you're only going to be operating for me from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., I wouldn't be interested in your service. Um, you know, Freight and cars are a little, they're different in their own respect. With freight, you might have appointment times where you have to be to a place by a certain time to pick up this, to pick up that. To drop off, you might have an appointment time, different like that. But when it comes down to cars, cars are different. Even after 5 p.m., if you're in the car game, you can still be dropping off cars well up to 7. I mean, I done dropped off cars, at 9, 10 o'clock at night, get to a dealership and the people are not gone. And I pull up and I'm thinking I'm about to go to sleep or something of that nature. And I get there and it's like, oh man, somebody's still here. You hit the door, hey, can I drop this car? And he say, yeah, just bring me the keys and so on and so on. And you confirm that this person actually works here. And oh yeah, I'm about to drop this. I got 3 hours still left on my clock. I might well take off. Um, you know, and then if you do it, and let's say like cars, I picked up cars 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Things of that nature. Now I don't expect the dispatcher to be up that late, obviously, but I'm just saying the car industry is a lot different from freight industry as far as picking up and dropping off. Because when you're picking up a car, you're loading that car, you're putting it on, you're taking it off. In freight, somebody else has to put it on for you. Obviously, they're operating from 8 to 5, something of that nature. In cars, it's a lot different. In the morning time or throughout the day when they're posting these vehicles up here, like Metro, not Metronet, Jesus, that's the internet company here, Certus. when a Certus is posting a car or United Road or one of those, let's say they post a car on their load board at 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. If you're only working from 9 to 5 for me, I'll never get those cars. I'll never get those decent. It's like they say, the early bird gets the worm. I'll never get that type of stuff, right? Because you're only operating from 9 to 5. What if I pull up somewhere and there's a cancellation? You're operating from 9 to 5. You're not going to just have one person that you're dispatching. So you got 5 people that you're dispatching. From 9 to 5, that is not enough time to do the things that you need to do. You need to be flexible with what you have going on. If you don't have cars to dispatch and everything's already been dispatched, yeah, you might not even have to operate from 9 to 12. You know what I'm saying? Unless, hey, somebody call you, they got an emergency situation. Well, hey, this got canceled. I need something else real quick. I don't need you saying, hey, it's 5 o'clock. I can't help you out there. Or, hey, this is going to be overtime or something of that nature. No, it's like, I need you to jump up here and find me something. You know what I mean? Either to keep me moving tonight or to get me moving the next morning. Because you're going to have those hiccups at some point in time in your business while you're call hauling. You get somewhere where you've called, confirmed that the vehicle's there, and you get there and they can't find keys. It's like, either somebody has already picked this vehicle up, because companies do that, or either it wasn't here in the first place, and you're sorry behind never even looked to see if the keys were in there. You just told me, yeah, they're here, just to get me off the phone. So you'll run into that, and you need a dispatcher that has flexibility, that can maneuver, that's not restrained by a time. Now if you hit that dispatcher up and they're at a soccer game for the kids or a baseball game for the kids, they might have to hit you up and let you know, hey man, I will jump on it just as soon as I get to it. I'm at this game. As soon as I leave, I'll start looking to see what I can find, right? Or they may be able to jump on it then. Now, you can't expect them to work 24 hours a day. That's obvious. That's not going to happen. But you need a dispatcher that's really in your corner. A lot of times dealing with, if you're going to be dealing with these services like this, you might not run into that. It just depends. So getting a dispatcher, if you have somebody that's local, if you have a girlfriend, significant other that can do this for you, if you have, mom, sister, or somebody of that nature that you can find to dispatch for you or something of that nature, man, there's no special training required to be a dispatcher. All they need to really do is understand how the industry works, understands how your clocks work, you know, when you can run, how you can run, what you can load up, understand your weight requirements if you're non-CDL or if you're CDL. Um, you know, know that if you're in North Carolina and you got to go to, or you're in Greenville, North Carolina, you got to go to Johnson City, Tennessee, right? They need to know how many miles it is, how long it's going to take you to get there, so that they can plan accordingly. They don't want to get you a car and say, hey, he's going to be there today when they know you're not going to make it there today. You can pick up tomorrow, right? So, just simple basic stuff they need to know. So if you can find somebody local, somebody that somebody that may needs help making some extra cash and they can dedicate some time to you to dispatch for you, that may be a better route, man, than going with some of these companies that do services. I think I looked at them. Um, what was this? After hours or something. I think they do for trucks for tow and dispatch, and I don't know what's going on with this breakdowns and emergency. You know, if you're out there, that's something you can handle on your own. You really don't need a dispatch service for a breakdown or for emergency. And I think I was trying to look for another one of those companies that, you know, if you lease own with somebody, that's another option too. If you lease on with somebody, which is going to require a higher percentage though, so that may not be something that you're looking at. 9 times out of 10, they're going to have to dispatch your loads to you. So, that's an option too. But, this is something, again, that you can find somebody local to do it, because another thing, if you look at, let's go back to them because all of them have it up there. Their requirements for um, letting you sign up for their dispatch is only MC authority. You, of course, you have to have your own insurance. You got to have central dispatch, so you're going to have to pay for central dispatch. Most people is going to use, and of course, fill out a W-9, right? The reason why you have to have your own dispatch is because they can't get on central dispatch and say, hey, especially if they're a dispatch service, most of them, you have to have some type of insurance. You have to be a shipper or a carrier, and you have to be able to prove that to central dispatch. Most of these dispatch services, they don't actually have access to central dispatch or something of that nature. They have to get up there through your account. So you will have to pay for this, right? That's not going to come out of their fee. You're going to have to pay for central dispatch, and they're simply just going to have access to your central dispatch and get up there and be able to make calls and say, hey, instant quote logistics. This is instant quote logistics. Is this car still available? And go based off of that. They're acting as somebody for you, as somebody calling in as an agent for you. Is pretty much what it is. So you have to have this stuff on your own anyway. So it's like, somebody at home, you can give them the access to your central. They can make these calls for you. They can book these cars for you. You can break them off something on the side, and do the same thing. Yeah, again, if you have a girlfriend, significant other, they can do the same thing these companies do. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't try these companies or anything of that nature, but it gives you the options that you have when it comes down to like a dispatch service. But whatever dispatch service you go with or you get, just make sure they're for you, man. You know what I mean? Make sure that they're dedicated. Make sure that they're going to actually, again, be for you. And, you should be good from there. I'll say this before I get off. I had a buddy that started a box truck company. Um, and he had a dispatcher that sent him, I think it was two couches that he picked up. It was $1,000. The dispatcher sent him from Charlotte, North Carolina area to, I think, was it? Shoot, I forget where he went. I want to say, no, it couldn't have been Philadelphia because he didn't drive that far. It was somewhere within about 3 or 4 hours of him, somewhere in that Charlotte area. Could have been to Tennessee that he went or something of that nature. But um, he took no. It had to be PA. He went somewhere in PA, Philadelphia. I remember he told me that. So he took two couches. They paid $1,000. And when he called me, he told me that, hey man, I'm on the road or whatever. I asked him, where you going? So and so. He told me where he was going. He told me what he had. He had two couches, and I was waiting for him to tell me that he had some more stuff because on a box truck, two couches, that's nothing. I mean, that's not even taking up space. That's not even taking up a lot of real estate. It's taking up some, but it's not taking up a lot of real estate. So, this dispatch in particular, he sent him to that place, Philadelphia, wherever he went. He sent them there, and he only had two couches. And then he promised them that he was going to have them something coming back. And I talked to him a little bit later in the day after he even went and dropped these couches off. And he told me that he was on his way back. So I'm assuming that he had a backhaul load. And that was definitely not the case. He had to do something for his girl and all this kind of stuff like that. So he took the chairs up there for 1,000, but he came back empty. Um, and it's like a good dispatcher wouldn't have sent you away to Philadelphia with one thing on your truck. Because I'm sure there were plenty of stops throughout that area that he could have picked up something else and matched it with him because he had plenty of real estate left in the truck. And then if he told you that he was going to have something coming back for you, then he should have got something coming back. The only problem is, when you're dealing with, again, these dispatch services, you got to be careful. You got to make sure that they're dedicated, where they don't have a ton of different people and trying to focus on and pay attention to a ton of different people at one particular time. Because if they are, it's not going to work out well for you. So, um, in saying that, just pay attention to, the services that they're offering, the times that they're offering, and so on. And, don't get locked into no kind of contract, anything of that nature, because it definitely shouldn't be contract based, where they're locking you into a guarantee where you have to stay with them for a year or some stuff like that. Don't do that. because if you don't like the service, you should be able to let them know, hey, this is not working for me. That's the end of it. You know what I mean? So just a few tips to look for and to help you find one. So I hope I answered your question. I'm going to cut this video because we're almost at 20 minutes and I've been talking way too long. So if you all have any more questions, again, forgive me for not getting up here. I've been tied up, been kind of busy. Please, just send your questions either to the email or just make a comment and I will get up here because I'm going to be up here for the next couple of days. Right now it's 12 a.m. 12:04 a.m. I went to sleep early and I got up because I was intending to hit some videos today. So this is the first thing I jumped on when I got up to do some videos. So I am committed to trying to get these videos out. So if you have a question I didn't get to it, if you made a comment and I didn't get to it, I do apologize. Simply just send it back to me. And this is what I'm hitting for the next week or two. Jumping up here, hitting these videos. Also, um, let me see real quick because I got so many freaking emails. Let me go to this uh, real quick. I don't oftentimes, this is my kids channel.
Want to know I took my
With the
business to the next
info.
level?
Oh my God, that was really loud. But I don't often go to this right here. But if you can look at this area right here, this channel has 405 subscribers. And it's like, man, that's awesome. That's great. I don't think I ever said it, but thank all of you that have subscribed to the channel. Thank all of you that post comments. Thank all of you that ask questions and pay attention to the videos. I do appreciate it. I'm not really in it for the money. Of course, when we get to the point of 1,000 subscribers, I will try to do the monetizing thing, and it's not necessarily to make money because I have other revenue sources. I have different streams of income coming in, which is one thing that you definitely need to do. Don't get stuck on one thing because when one thing goes down, you need to have some other things that are operating, and that's with any kind of job, business, whatever you got going on. Have different streams of income coming in so that one thing can't shut you down, right? So you know I would love to get to the point to get monetized, and the reason why is because I would love to start doing giveaways and different things like that on the channel, and to help and continue to build up a community type base up here. So thank you for all of you that have subscribed. Thank you for all of you that make comments. Thank you for all of you that ask your questions. I really do appreciate you because, I really didn't even know that there was 455 subscribers up here until I looked at this the other day. And it's like, oh crap, I really need to make some videos. Because I don't want to nobody to think that I'm trying to neglect them or not responding to them. That would be very rude of me. So again, if you have sent me a question, I have not responded to it. If you have sent a comment, I did not respond to it. Please forgive me. Just simply send it back to me, and I'm going to try to get to it ASAP to make sure I get the video back to you. All right, I'm out. Video too long. Let's go. I don't know whose channel this is. Oh, that's mine. That's just a commercial. Okay. All right. I'm out. Bye.